Many of you may be familiar with the adult entertainment site formerly known as Girls Gone Wild. This site was founded by Joe Francis in 1997. And the concept behind Girls Gone Wild was sending camera crews out to party locations and engaging young college-age women and encouraging those women to remove clothing and do explicit things. Now, quite often, those women did not need encouragement. They were already primed to go. I mentioned Girls Gone Wild because currently we have a culture of girls gone wild. Girls have gone wild in today's culture, and in today's culture, there are very few ladies. Yes, there are very few ladies, very few true women, and as a result of that, we have an abundance of whores and bitches. Now, technically, I'm not supposed to identify these women, these females as whores and bitches. It is politically incorrect. And by many, it is even viewed as misogynist. I'm just being honest about the product, the female product that we have available to us today. The vast majority of them are whores and bitches, and I am calling them that because I want to appropriately assign the correct term to them. This society of whores and bitches are not held accountable for their actions. I'm grossly disgusted by the fact that when someone wants to identify them based on their behaviors and their habits, that person is then scolded for being honest and accurate about the current female product that is available to us in today's society. In this society, they can abort babies indiscriminately and with impunity, and nobody will call them by their appropriate title. And that would be baby murdering whores and bitches. But men are regularly referred to as deadbeats, dogs, being less than a man, weak, and even referred to as motherfuckers. These are common terms that are used when women want to refer to men that they may be dissatisfied with. These females, these non-accountability class females, they wear large amounts of fake up. You may refer to it as makeup. They wear fake nails, fake lashes, fake wigs, weaves, implants, and they get facial injections. And they do all of this while critiquing and judging men's looks and men's finances. And they do this displaying an overbearing and insulting sense of superiority, i.e. arrogance, while holding men accountable for their looks and their finances when women aren't held accountable for their looks and their finances. For example, men make more than women. Men earn more than women. And when men come out, those men are out and we are submitting ourselves to society as we truly are, without makeup, without wigs, without weaves, without implants, etc. I think that it is, I think that our society has become misandrist. Men are held accountable. I believe that our society has become misandrist in that men can be referred to inappropriately, but you cannot appropriately refer to women by calling them whores and bitches when that is exactly what they are. You cannot appropriately refer to women by calling them baby murderers when that is exactly what they are. But it is absolutely acceptable to inappropriately refer to men. And all of this is a result of this girls gone wild culture that we live in. Girls have gone wild. That is evident by the fact that they can indiscriminately and whimsically murder their seed, and that they are allowed to judge everyone based on their looks when no woman is coming outside as she truly looks. I find that to be hypocritical. Remove the makeup, remove the nails, remove the lashes, remove the implants, remove the wigs, remove the weaves, and stop getting the injections. And then we can have a serious conversation about holding men accountable, because currently we cannot hold women accountable. And to be honest, men are very accountable. But consider this. A man that goes to work every day and earns a living, but doesn't quite make enough money according to everyone else, he's considered to be a failure. I find that to be very odd, that a man can get up and go to work every day, earn a living, and because women, i.e. girls, because girls believe that his income should be more than what it currently is, he is immediately counseled. That is another form of misandry. Men are routinely counseled because of their height or the lack thereof. That is misandry. We have a girls gone wild culture. All of this is a result of girls gone wild. These girls are wild for attempting to hold men accountable, yet these girls are completely non-accountable. They are not accountable for their looks. That's why they add on all of these things, because they are not accountable for their looks. They are not accountable to their looks. They are not accountable for having indiscriminate, whimsical sex, because they are allowed to freely abort those babies. Girls have gone wild. That's why they are aborting babies. Girls have gone wild. That's why they come out with all of these wigs and weaves and this makeup and these nails and these lashes and these implants and these injections, because they have gone wild. We have a cultural imbalance. And this cultural imbalance is the fact that girls have gone wild. But what must happen with this cultural imbalance is that females must be put back into balance, back into their place. They must be put back into balance, back into their place. And no one seems to be in any hurry to hold women accountable. Now, I say that they must be put back in their place. What do I mean by that? They must be put back into a place of humility. They must be put back into a place of accountability. They must be put back into a place of reality. They must be put back into a place of submissiveness. They must be put back into the home. They must be put back into the kitchen. They must be put back into the bedroom. They must be put back into the labor and delivery room. They must be put back into a place of physical fitness. They must be put back into a place of pleasantness, where they are enjoyable, where they are agreeable, where they are friendly, where they smile. Gentlemen, we live in an age where waterboarding terrorists is considered inhumane. It's considered detestable. It's punishable. Yet abortion, aborting babies, murdering babies is considered fashionable. It's considered fashionable, courageous, and even righteous. They consider abortion to be morally right, good, and fair. And if you argue against that, you're considered to be practicing misogyny, and you are considered to be anti-female. There's a terrible imbalance when men are held accountable and women aren't held accountable. There's a terrible imbalance when arguing against the murdering of innocent and defenseless babies is considered misogynist. Girls have gone wild, and they must be brought to heel. There's no doubt that they must be brought to heel because girls have gone wild. But I'm disturbed by the fact that so many people and so many entities in society are willing to support this girls gone wild behavior, this girls gone wild mentality. I'll give you some examples. Unfortunately, the church offers protection for this whole girls gone wild mentality, and the church, in the form of protection, gives validation. If you protect that behavior, you are validating that behavior. And quite often, the majority of churches I know in the Black community condone this girls gone wild behavior because those churches do not want to be viewed as being labeled as, they do not want to be labeled as misogynists. They do not want to run off half of their church population that they rely upon for tithes and offering. Additionally, the halls of academia is constantly validating this bad behavior, this girls gone wild behavior, because it is academia that reinforces this behavior, reinforces the so-called right to behave like this, including abortion, which is indiscriminate murder. The media likewise validates this behavior because this is protected behavior. And then last and certainly not least, you males, you simps, you suckers. You validate this behavior, and you validate this behavior because you simply want to remain in the good graces of females in society, because many of you are under the impression that that is the only way that you will have the opportunity to have sex with a woman, is that you must validate, stamp, and sign off on all of this illicit female activity. And as I stated, we have a name for you in the hood. We call you simps. We call you suckers. We call you sugar daddies. We call you cake daddies. And you are all of the above.